Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Kilsis here from YouTube, and we are back for another banger. We got an interesting one today, man. We got Gillie the Kid, Johnny Manziel, and Cam Newton. So now, let me get started. I'm gonna give you a whole back front of how this all started. So Cam Newton on his show Fourth and One was talking about how Gillie the Kid rap album didn't do anything. You feel what I'm saying? And how Gillie the Kid actually it all really started with how because Cam Newton critiques his quarterbacks. Cam Newton critiques all players. You feel what I'm saying? And I respect Cam Newton a lot because Cam Newton is a superstar himself and was a superstar himself. You know, Cam Newton was a star in high school. You know what I'm saying? Cam Newton was a 4 or 5 star prospect going to Florida. Was behind Tim Tebow, and clearly he didn't beat out Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was a Heisman Trophy winner, first round draft pick, but Cam Newton believed he was better, ended up leaving Florida because he had gotten into some trouble, but he was still believed he was better at Florida still. You know what I'm saying? But he knew he wasn't going to start over a Heisman Trophy winner, which we all know. Cam Newton ends up going back to junior college, ends up being the best player in junior college, dominating junior college, winning a championship in junior college, gets all the offers in the world, goes to Auburn. And in 1 year in Auburn, wins the Heisman Trophy winner, dominates everybody, goes undefeated, beats Alabama. I mean, does everything you could possibly want in a quarterback, wins the national championship, best player on the field. You name it, he was it. And then he goes on to be the #1 draft pick in the NFL to the Carolina Panthers, gets to Carolina, Rookie of the Year, MVP, makes another trip to the Super Bowl. And Cam Newton is famously, unfortunately, known for not falling on the fumble in the Super Bowl, which people feel costed the Carolina Panthers the Super Bowl. Now, Cam Newton was a superstar in all levels of football and was named and was known as Superman for a reason, and is indebted to Carolina for forever, and they are to him as well. They love him. You know what I'm saying? It's his profile picture. It's what he's known for, #1 for. Everything is Carolina with Cam. Now, with Johnny Manziel, I feel like personally in this situation, Johnny Manziel has said on Twitter, Gillie the Kid, you are the biggest clown on the planet right now. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying, because Gillie the Kid had made a video on his birthday 2 days ago talking with the Super Bowl. He had a Super Bowl talking about something. Cam Newton never got one of these. Cam Newton never got one of these, and was having a great time because, as you know, Gillie the Kid is from the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl this past year. Gillie the Kid was looking like a mascot. People call him a mascot. He was at the games. He was supporting them. He talked to the team. He was there throughout the playoff run. The team does love him. The city does love him. I can't lie. Like I said, he is like a human mascot to the Philadelphia Eagles, and they respect him and he respects them, and it's a whole big thing with that currently. But Gillie the Kid is known for being a rapper. If you don't know, Gillie the Kid was a rapper back in his day, and Gillie the Kid is known for being he through the rapping, he did some little bit of acting and then put himself in a movie, created, you know what I'm saying, tried to do the little movie scene, do the little acting scene. Didn't really work out, just like people are saying, because he had hits. You know what I'm saying? Gillie the Kid had hits in the rap industry, is in a rap music world, and he had hits to where he made it, where, you know, once you make a hit, honestly, in the music world, you made it, because everybody knows it's so hard to make a hit in the music world, and everybody wants to make a hit. But Gillie the Kid made multiple hits. Gillie the Kid dropped albums. Gillie the Kid dropped mixtapes. Gillie the Kid, in a sense, made it in the music world, in the rap industry. But what Gillie the Kid never did was make it. Like, once you make it past the basic levels of trying to get a hit song and you're trying to get a hit record, you have to drop a mixtape. After you drop a mixtape, you're hoping that your mixtape does well, because now you want to drop an album. After you drop an album, now it's all about how consistent can you be with your albums, and now your numbers is going to be measured by each album that you drop and compared to everything that you last dropped, and how you improved as a rapper. Gillie the Kid never dropped a hit album and never became that big time rapper to where he was touring across the world and all the cameras and flashlights are on him, and Gillie the Kid is a headliner, and Gillie the Kid is a superstar in the music industry. Gillie the Kid is also known for famously beefing with Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne had a hit record that basically people felt shut out Gillie the Kid music career for good and made him really much basically he was a was type of rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like he used to be a rapper type of thing until he ran into Lil Wayne and basically fell off. But now Gillie the Kid is one of the biggest podcasters in the world with him and his cousin Wallow, who did 20 years in jail. Wallow 267, who I'm a big fan of Gillie and Wallow. I have to put that out there and mention I do love watching their podcasts. I do listen to them. I have supported them. I do respect them. So Gillie the Kid and Wallow, I love them. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big fan of both of them because I just respect how real they both are. But as far as in the rap music, Cam Newton has said on his Fourth and Run show, Gillie the Kid never made a hit record. So Gillie the Kid doesn't know what it feels like to be at the top of his game, like how Cam Newton was at the top of his game in high school, college, and in the NFL. Gillie the Kid was never the best. And Cam Newton said, I was the best at my field. And I made it to the highest form in my field. And in your field, you never made it to the highest form. And in your field, you never was the best. And that's where the Gillie versus Cam Newton thing has started. Now, once Gillie the Kid made a video about Cam Newton saying that he never got a Super Bowl ring, I am sure that past Heisman Trophy winners and past people who have made the NFL and past people who have even made it to the Super Bowl, because there are so many players who have made it to the NFL and have not made it to the Super Bowl. There's so many players who have made it to the NFL and have never been the Rookie of the Year. There's so many players that have made it to the NFL and never been an MVP. There's so many players that made it to the NFL and have never been the best player on their team. There's so many players that made it to the NFL and never been the best player and best person on the roster at their position. Forget the team. Forget staying in the league. You're not even the best at your position on your team. You feel me? You're not even respected by your teammates as the best, let alone the league, let alone staying in here. People, the NFL is really stand for not for long, not National Football League. It's really not for long, which because in the NFL, they basically, you only have 3 years. People say in 3 years, the average length of players in the NFL is only 3 years. So you have to make something, make or break yourself within the first 3 years, you're basically gone or you're done for. So I feel like Johnny Manziel came out on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it and said basically what so many other probably Heisman Trophy winners felt. So many other first round draft picks felt, so many other college stars or NFL players or people who play Division I or made the NFL, you know how hard it is to make. So that's why Johnny Manziel came out on X or Twitter and had called Gillie the Kid the biggest clown in the world, because he is trying to get Gillie the Kid to understand you don't understand how hard it is to make it to the NFL. You don't understand how hard it is to play in the NFL, let alone stay in the NFL, let alone be a star in the NFL, let alone make the Super Bowl, let alone be an MVP, let alone be the best player in the world and a Superman. You have no idea how hard it is, and only thing you're doing is being a mascot. That's what this is all started from, because he's calling him a mascot. So I personally feel like Gillie the Kid, he shouldn't, he put the powder on his nose, you feel what I'm saying? Because Johnny Manziel, you feel what I'm saying, was on track to be a superstar, especially after his freshman year at Texas A&M when he won the Heisman. Was the first ever true freshman to win the Heisman Award, first ever freshman to win the Heisman Award, period. You know how hard that is? And Johnny Manziel went on to go be with Drake and just be this super pop star. And Johnny Manziel later came out, and once he was drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the first round, he never became the Johnny Manziel that everybody expected him to be, the star he expected him to be. And within 3 to 5 years, like the average length, Johnny Manziel was out of the NFL. So Johnny Manziel was sticking up for Cam Newton and all other football players and going against somebody like who's very popular in the industry right now, Gillie the Kid, who does have a voice in the industry right now, and telling him, hey, you look like a clown because you don't understand how hard it is in our field, let alone since you being a mascot in our field, you should have even a sense of clue of why it is so hard to be exactly what it is we are trying to be in the NFL. So I do understand that. And on Gillie the Kid side, I understand like the powder stuff and talking about Johnny and stuff like that, and basically his past and how he messed up his life and basically messed up his own career. That's on him. So I understand that as well. But as far as Cam Newton, I don't think Cam Newton messed up his career or his legacy or anything like that. You know, losing the Super Bowl, it hurts, but you ain't messed up your career or life. You made it big time and you were that guy. So that's where this all started and came from, and that's why this beef has begun. And I hope it ends quickly, because I like all these people and I support all these people, whether it is, and I don't like to judge and I don't like to be judged, so I don't judge. So if you are still here, please leave in a comment what you think about this beef between Gillie the Kid and Johnny Manziel over Cam Newton, and what you think about Johnny Manziel's comments, Cam Newton comments, and Gillie the Kid comments. Again, thank you again for watching. I'll be back soon. I'm indebted to y'all forever. KLC's family.